Thank you very much, Stefan, and good afternoon, everyone. How are you today? Good, excellent. So I will start with the first meeting today at the General Assembly. The President chaired the meeting of the ad hoc committee of the GA for the announcement of voluntary contributions to the UN Relief and Works Agency for Palestine Refugees in the Near East, UNRWA. In her opening remarks, Ms. María Fernanda Espinosa addressed the funding shortfall and the need of $1.2 billion to assist regular programs to 5.4 million Palestinian refugees. Currently, the agency has a projected shortfall of $211 million to provide services such as healthcare, housing, financial, and emergency assistance. The PJ stressed that this is not a matter of charity. This is about responsibility, about upholding human dignity and human rights. This is also about keeping the promise we made through the 2030 agenda to leave no one behind. The meeting was attended by the Secretary General Antonio Guterres and UNRWA Commissioner General Ms. Pierre Krihenbuhl, as well as 2 Palestinian students from the West Bank and from Gaza, among others. More details on our website, and for the webcast on demand, you can go to UN Web TV on the website as well, and the PJ's speech is being posted on our website, which is un.org/PJ/73. And this afternoon at 3 p.m., the General Assembly will convene a plenary meeting on equitable representation on and increase in the membership of the Security Council and other matters related to this body. Following conversations with member states and group of states, Ms. Espinosa will present a draft rollover decision for adoption at the GA Hall. The document, which is called Revised Elements of Commonality and Issues for Further Consideration, is available on our website, as well as the draft oral decision to be adopted by the GA this afternoon. And the plenary meeting will be open and webcast for all. Tomorrow, 26th of June, for your diaries, the GA will hold an informal meeting on combating anti-Semitism and other forms of racism and hate, the challenges of teaching tolerance and respect in the digital age. The meeting intends to enable a discussion on ways social media and other digital tools can be used for educational projects to share best practices and lessons learned on combating hatred and intolerance. The PJ and the SG will deliver opening remarks, and later the floor will be given to Rabbi Israel Goldstein of the Shabbos of Poway Synagogue in San Diego, California, as well as the European Coordinator on Combating Anti-Semitism, Ms. Katharina von Schnuerbein, and Mr. Ahmed Shahid, who is the Special Rapporteur on Freedom of Religion and or Belief, as well as representatives of member states. And finally, on Thursday, so in 2 days' time, correct? We will be here with the PJ at 11 a.m. for our press conference, the press conference by the PJ. You are all invited to attend here, all ANCA correspondents, and it will be webcast. So we are looking forward to your questions. And by the way, questions. Evelyn, go ahead. How are you?
Just on housekeeping, It was very painful to listen to the young Palestinian woman, since the translator was a man. Certainly no one doing radio or TV could even touch that. Even for print people, it was painful to listen to that translation. So maybe the Arab translation section could find a woman somewhere.
This is a good point. You mean the interpretation services, yeah? Of course. Yes, this is a good point. Yeah, absolutely. Let's take that on board. So it was a lady and being translated by a gentleman. That's your point. Elena, how are you?
Hi, Monica.
Hi.
I wanted to make sure that today at the Assembly General meeting and in the afternoon, the Prime Minister of Mozambique is going to be there and making remarks.
I don't have this information,
No?
but we better check with the mission. Yes.
Because I have the information, so I wanted to ask if the President of General Assembly, I might be wrong,
Yeah.
but if she has any message for the General Assembly about Mozambique and the reconstruction after the cyclones.
Oh, sure. I got your question now. No, absolutely. You will remember that when the floods happening, I mean, actually caused, as we all know, by the first Cyclone Idai, and afterwards Cyclone Kenneth, the PJ immediately expressed her solidarity and also drew attention for the fact that the people of Mozambique were in need of our solidarity. I mean, the international community, of course, the United Nations and our humanitarian agencies, and the PJ also took the opportunity to sign the book at the Mozambican mission. She remains engaged with this issue because, of course, as we know, unfortunately, in situations like this, we tend, as international media outlets, or to draw our attention, but afterwards we move to other stories, and that's not the case for the PJ. She is following this story, and especially in contact as well with the region and in contact with the ambassador here. So yeah, she's fully aware. And thank you for reminding us of this. It's an important story, as are the humanitarian crises that we have around the world. Thank you, Elena. Well spotted. Yes, Masood, how are you?
I'm okay, Monica. How are you? Monica, I was just saying about this two elements that have been added to these Security Councils. I mean, I haven't really seen them. When I see them, there'll be another question. But how sure is the PGA that there'll be some movement, if at all, if nothing at all, towards any resolution of this crisis which is going on for the last 25 years?
You were calling the
Equal
Security Council
representation
reform.
of
That's what
the-
you're mentioning.
Yes.
Yes, okay, absolutely.
Yeah.
Masood, it has been, as you, and I thank you for looking after this particular issue. It has been almost a year of, in this current session of intergovernmental negotiations. You know that the PJ has been focusing and working together with the both co-facilitators, with the two ambassadors on this matter. Not only she has been in contact and close contact with member states, as she put in this letter to member states, also with regional groups of states which have a contribution to make. So this afternoon at 3 p.m., it's a meeting open to all. The intergovernmental negotiations, of course, you know, they were closed. And so she's expecting the member states to make their statements and continue to support, of course, as they see fit, as they decide over this issue, the negotiations and the process, I would say, on the reform of the Security Council. What we hear, and we will know more this afternoon, that's why I invite you to follow the webcast, the ones who cannot be present. What we hear is that there is a widespread support for regional representation in the case of African countries, but not only, or I would say Africa member states, African seats, but not only. So the reflection that we note is that progress was made this year. But of course, we will know more, and for sure, we should not get ahead of ourselves at 3 p.m. And it remains, as we all know in this room and across this building, it remains a very much member state-driven process, and the decision, of course, lies with member states. But thank you, and we may know more tomorrow. And if you don't have anything else, I would say thank you very much, and I will see you tomorrow and on Thursday at 11 a.m., okay? Thank you. See you tomorrow. No, thank you. Thank you. The whole thing.
every other seat to